Well, so hello again YouTube, here we are. Well, the TIG didn't work. It just went from bad to worse. And after some testing, I heard a couple of pops. And we lost some IGBT transistors, which I replaced in here. They are soldered on some kind of new ROSH or something like that. Well, new European Union approved crappy quality solder, and you need to heat them like very hard to get them off. I actually needed to chip the covers of the transistors. These are the burned ones. They all had, those three ones had little holes in the middle, so they were burned. So the problem is the optocouplers get saturated up to a point when you're at certain frequency range and certain balance range. It short circuits these three transistors and they go pop. I bet one of them was bad, and these three drive the 4 transistor here, so they're on much more load than the 4 ones, and the 3 ones go bad. But anyway, I replaced them. I needed to heat the whole block so I can get the solder going. The PCB is something like 0.4 millimeters thick, laminated to an aluminium plate that's glued onto the heatsink. So very good design on getting the heat out of the transistors, but very difficult to get the old ones desoldered and new ones soldered in, because you need something like 200 degrees on this block so you can use the soldering iron to get these pads soldered. And I decided I'm not gonna heat this whole block so much that I can get the solder running underneath the IGBT transistors, so I drilled the holes and put M3 screws on them that holds the transistors onto the connecting pads. I hope it works. If it doesn't, well, I need to make a new PCB and that'll suck. And when taking off this whole block from the main board, well, I fumbled a bit and ripped the contacts from the PCB, so that was a little disappointing. But I've made jumper wires and everything is connected now again, and put some epoxy glue to glue them on so they don't rip off again. After this is finished and it's cold enough that I can touch it and I can solder it back here, I need to change all of these driver transistors, because I don't know if some of them have gone bad. 2 here, 2 here, all the 4 ones from the negative and from the positive line. And while I'm at it, I'm going to change these 2 optocouplers for the newer design optocouplers, as well as, I don't know if you can see, it's pretty dark in here, but there are optocoupler here and somewhere in there. I'm going to change those also to the newer design, so I can be sure that it's into the new specs and it doesn't have the problem of the bridge going to short circuit. So, well, I'm not so good at this electronic stuff. Maybe it's the short circuit, maybe it's something else, but that's what I was explained, that these bridges go, and I'm just fixing what I see. But all the other transistors, they were great. Well, not great, but they were okay when I measured them. So, but anyways, I'm going to put the camera away and start soldering, and I'll give you a new update when it's done and I have tested if I burned something else or if it's working. But have a nice day. Bye.